Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 20th of April, 2023. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about, so let's jump straight into it. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished the day down just a touch to 7,362 points. The big miners fell back with BHP down 2.5%, Rio Tinto off 2.4%, and Fortescue Metals 1% lower. In contrast, the big banks did well, led by Commonwealth Bank, which finished up nearly 2%, back above $100 a share. There was a fair bit of corporate news around, actually. Logistics giant Brambles has lifted its full-year profit forecasts after a solid March quarter. Its share price rose 0.3%. Oil and gas explorer Santos lowered its production by 15% in its March quarter results. Its share price fell 0.4%. And Silk Laser Australia has allowed Wesfarmers to conduct due diligence as part of a possible takeover after making a $169 million cash offer for the laser clinic chain. Its share price jumped 24% today. On to story number 2 now, and a review of the Reserve Bank of Australia has made 51 recommendations ranging from the establishment of 2 boards, one of which will only think about monetary policy, through to improving the culture of the central bank and getting more experts on board able to challenge senior management. Treasurer Jim Chalmers today agreed to all recommendations in principle and wants to work with the opposition to push through legislation to improve governance around the bank. Story number 3, Bank of Queensland says it faces a risk of, quote, penalties, sanctions or other enforcement action relating to ongoing regulatory reviews of its risk culture and anti-money laundering compliance. The regional bank has released its half-year result, which showed a slight fall in net profit, but the bottom line tumbled after Bank of Queensland booked a $200 million goodwill impairment and a $42 million after-tax provision for costs relating to a new, quote, integrated risk program. The bank cut its dividend and said reviews conducted with regulators had revealed the bank required a material uplift in its operational resilience, risk culture and governance, and Bank of Queensland's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing program and compliance. On to story number 4 now, and Origin Energy says it will commit $600 million in the first stage development of a large-scale battery at its Eraring power station. Construction and supply of the battery is set to commence within weeks. Stage 1 will include the construction of a 460 megawatt battery storage system with a dispatch duration of 2 hours. It's set to come online in the final quarter of the 2025 calendar year. It added that the company has the option to increase the battery to 700 megawatts and 4 hours dispatch duration in the future. Chief Executive Frank Calabria said he was pleased to make this significant capital investment in Origin's first major battery project to support the growth in renewable energy. And finally, story number 5, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has become the 4th member of his family to run for the Democrat presidential nomination, launching his campaign in Boston overnight, of course. Nephew of assassinated former President John F. Kennedy and the son of Bobby, shot on the campaign trail in 1968, spoke for almost 2 hours before a 1,000-strong audience, many of whom had travelled interstate to hear the anti-vaccine campaigner and environmental lawyer call for unity in a divided nation. Another uncle, Teddy, ran for the nomination in 1980. His pitch, in his words, during this campaign and during my administration, my objective will be to make as many Americans as possible forget that they are Republicans or Democrats and remember that they are Americans. How about that? That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 20th of April, 2023. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.